YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with Week 8 score predictions, predicting the score of every game, every single week. We also take a look at the spreads on the game, seeing if there's any games worth putting money on. But I do have my locks and bets of the week on the Patreon, along with plenty of more content there. So yeah, straight up picks with the boys. Those are on the channel for this week. Power rankings up on the channel. A lot of videos up on the channel covering the trade deadline fully as well. You're going to want to check out that Twitter. We're talking live during all these games every week. We're talking about the trade deadline news when it happens, breaking it down there first. Link down below for that. We have a Patreon. We have a podcast. We have an Instagram. Links down below. Please help us reach that 60K goal. Be much, much appreciated. We're getting close. Appreciate the support. I mentioned that Patreon. Junior has his score predictions on there. He is on fire this year. I have my bets of the week, like I mentioned. Same goes for college football. Score predictions, bets of the week, updated playoff predictions, predicting the seedings, round by round winners, and then the Super Bowl winner. We update those every single week. A lot more going on the Patreon, always adding more. Thursday night game, I got the Panthers taking care. I'm feeling the Panthers offense in this game. Last time these two teams played, which feels like just a few weeks ago, there was a little bit less offense than we expected. Not a whole bunch less, just a little bit less. I think the Panthers get going on offense, really feeling them. Thursday night prime time at home. Teddy Bridgewater gets going. I think they got too much speed on the outside. McCaffrey could come back here this week. If he does, I think he'll be limited. But I don't really think that'll be a factor. I think Mike Davis will be fine against the Falcons. And on defense, I'm impressed. The Falcons defense is actually playing better each week, it feels like, as well. But I'm impressed with this young Panthers defense. Really liking the way Brian Burns is playing. Derek Brown is controlling the trenches as well. I think the Panthers are just the better team right now, and they're in their home here, prime time. Give me the Panthers. 31 points. Good win there. It's only 2.5. They're favored by 2.5. I'm surprised it's not a little more there. I guess one of these rival games could go either way, but I'm confident with the Panthers. Patriots and Bills, two teams that are a little bit on the struggle bus. The Bills are coming off of a win, so that's not too much of a struggle bus, I guess, but they had a little bit of a losing streak before that. A little disappointing even in their win. Patriots, they're very disappointing. And the main focus is on Cam Newton right now, because he's playing like the injured Cam the last few years, and now we're starting to think maybe that's just the permanent Cam. It's unfortunate. The factor that the Patriots have going for them, if Cam can come out running, because he could still run and run pretty well, they can open up the passing game with that, and they can beat teams really just on the ground like that. So that's the possibility for them. I don't even really like how their defense is playing right now, to be honest. They don't look right. And the Stephon Gilmore trade rumors are coming up, and they seem to be legit. So none of that really helps. I think the Bills are just a better team. They're also at home in this game, in a rival game here. I like them better on both sides of the ball right now. Defense, it's debatable, but I think they get enough big plays to where they win 27-23 here. They're favored by 3.5. So how these graphics work, in case you're new, Patriots plus 3.5 at Buffalo. So it's the away team, the line, and the home team. I got the Bills taking care of business, winning by 4 points. So pretty close to the line there. But, I just think they're the better team here. Titans and Bengals. Titans minus 5.5 at Cincinnati. I got them winning by 7 in somewhat of a shootout here, 34-27. This could be a trap game. This could be a trap game for the Tennessee Titans, that being the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's because the Bengals can score, and you can score on the Titans. But more importantly, even the Bengals been scoring pretty much every week, minus the Ravens game. But what's slowing them down from scoring even more points, or what was slowing them down to score more points in the Ravens game? It's just the pass rush getting after Burrow. Titans don't really have the best pass rush right now. Their pass rush is almost non-existent. Jeffrey Simmons getting a good interior push. So that's going to result in the Bengals scoring a good amount of points here. But the Titans are still better on both sides of the ball. I think there's no question. So I just have them outscoring them here at 34-27. It is tough, though, because like I said, it could be a trap game. The Bengals could be crazy on offense because teams have been against the Titans. The Bengals really don't have to worry about their weakness too much with the pass rush, or do they? That's why I say it's a little tricky, because maybe this is the game Clowney gets going. Maybe it's the game. Jeffrey Simmons is going to have a good game. Maybe this is the game they really get their edge rush going with Harold Landry, Clowney. Maybe they blitz a little more like they should be. We'll see, though. It might be tough. Their corners have been struggling. Teams' receivers are getting separation early on the Titans' corners. They could have a Dory Jackson back, though, but the Bengals have a wide variety of weapons, much like the Steelers, so we could see some similarities there. So I have the shootout, but you would think the Titans could take care of business in the shootout. Most other teams have been doing against the Bengals. Titans definitely should be able to. Henry will have a good game. Tannehill will have a good game. Got them winning by 7 here. Raiders and Browns. A lot of people are picking the Browns, I've noticed, and the Browns are actually favored. I like the Raiders. I'm not like extremely confident, but I was pretty confident with this one. I think it's a pretty good matchup for the Raiders. I mean, both teams match up pretty well in this game, honestly, their offenses. This reminds me of a similar matchup compared to the Chiefs for the Raiders. Are the Browns the Chiefs? No, but they are similar in ways for the matchup for the Raiders. The Raiders, I think, will continue to score, a pretty good amount of points here in around 31. Really, the only factor is Myles Garrett. Of course, the Browns have other stud players on the defense, but Myles Garrett, if he creates turnovers, which he definitely could, that could be the difference. I'm actually thinking the Raiders take care of the ball in this game, and that will result in 31 points. The Raiders, struggled against, the Buccaneers. I don't think it'll be, the Browns are a pretty explosive offense, but no OBJ, no Nick Chubb. I think they can take care of business here and do enough. Obviously, 28 points a good amount, but yeah, it's going to be, I think people are out there saying the Browns are better without OBJ. I don't think that's the case. And I think that might show a little bit at times in this game. I just like the Raiders in an offensive game. That's just what I like here. We've seen them upset the Chiefs, but then lose to a team like the Bucs. Those are two totally different teams. Even if you put them both at the top, you actually could say the Chiefs are more of a contender than the Bucs. That's fair. So therefore, the Chiefs are better than the Bucs. That's also fair if you want to say that, but they're just totally different matchups for the Raiders, and I think the Browns one is comparable to the Chiefs game. But again, the Browns can continue to score in this game, and their defense, they give up points, they give up yards, but they're playmakers, and if they turn over Derek Carr, if they continue to get pressure on Carr, that will be the difference. The Browns got to stay in the game, though. Against the Bengals, it was back and forth. Back and forth is okay. If they get down even 10 points, they get down 10-0 or more than that, the Raiders are the heavy favorites, and I am believing that's what's going to happen. I think the Raiders are going to come out a little hot here and start off good, and I think that'll be the difference there. But taking care of the ball as well and continuing to push the ball downfield. So I got the Raiders in that one, and they're underdog by 2.5. Colts and Lions, I don't know why. I'm always confident in my score predictions. I think I've been damn close on a lot of them this year, and I've got quite a few on the money, or a few on the money there. But for some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, I'm really feeling this one. I feel like this it might be bold to say, but this is going to be the final score of this game. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but that's what I'm thinking. The Colts are good for a 26, 27-point game. I like the Colts. Lions 20 points might seem a little low. But I like the Colts defense, the way they match up against the Lions here. And you could say this is a classic case of defense versus offense. And in today's NFL, the offense wins that almost every time. You could make that case, but I don't know if the Lions are just pure offense. I don't know if I can. Are they that consistent on offense where I can trust them against a Colts defense? And I think the Colts offense could put some points up on the board on the Lions defense. Lions defense has been picking it up, but that's because they've been getting more of a pass rush, compared to like no pass rush in the beginning of the year. I don't know if you really get that much pass rush on the Colts offensive line. So the only thing, everything sides with the Colts for the most part for me. The only thing is, can they turn field goals into touchdowns in a game like this? I think at times they can. But I got the Colts. 6-point game, but I feel a pretty comfortable 6-point game. I think they'll have the lead most of the game here, and they're -3. So I like the Colts in this one. I'm pretty confident the scoreline being somewhere around there. Vikings and Packers, NFC North rival game. Usually there's more on the line in a game like this, but I got the Packers winning by 10. Somewhat of a high-scoring game here, 34-24. The Vikings could be trading some more players as the deadline approaches. We'll see what the approach is that they take. Season's not looking good. The Packers are just the better team right now on both sides of the ball. The Vikings have got some offense going, but the Packers are just better on offense. And now I'm hearing that the Vikings corners are really beat up now. That they're going to be very, very thin on corners this weekend, and they've already kind of been thin, and they've already been weak at the position even when healthy. So that's not good. The Packers are going to pick that apart there. Packers will probably be missing some guys again, but it shouldn't really be a problem. I got them winning by 10. I guess the Vikings off a bye week. Maybe they made some adjustments. Dalvin Cook should be back. Maybe he can have a big day. Last time they played the Packers, Dalvin Cook wasn't really a factor because the Vikings were down by so much early, and they couldn't really run the ball too well. Or too often, actually. Cook was running pretty well until they couldn't do it anymore. So if they stay in the game, they definitely have a shot because they can run Dalvin Cook, but they may rely on that too much. I got the Packers, obviously. I think we're all pretty confident on that one. In Lambeau there. Yeah, Jets-Chiefs, 31-13 and a whopping 19.5 favorites for the Chiefs. Yeah, I think the Chiefs try to get Le'Veon Bell going in this game. Maybe if you have Le'Veon Bell, it's a sneaky good start, against his former team. He's got to be – I think he could play more snaps than Edwards-Helaire in this game, but not most games or not any other game, really. I think the Chiefs kind of just work the clock. 31 points is a lot, but it seems like they could put up a lot more against the Jets, and they definitely could. I think they kind of just work the clock. Le'Veon Bell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire as well. Just a clock management game. The Jets just don't get enough right now. The play calling they just don't get enough. They could be sellers at the trade deadline as well. This really shouldn't be a surprising scoreline. So we're moving on. Rams and Dolphins, I think a pretty good game. I got a 3-point game here. I really like the way these defenses match up with the opposing offenses. I really like it. And that's why it's somewhat low scoring here. The Rams match up really well against the Dolphins offense because Tua hasn't really played yet, and he's getting to go against one of the best defenses in football right off the bat. But more importantly, the Dolphins haven't really, their offensive line's been actually impressive. We expect it to be bottom of the NFL. It's been way better than that, way better. But they haven't really seen a good pass rush yet. They really haven't seen it. And now you got the Rams. You got Aaron Donald in the interior. Leonard Floyd's actually playing extremely well, not just last week against his former team, but actually all year. And they're a really good blitzing team, and they're going to use that. And they're able to blitz because they're so tight in coverage. And then you look at the Dolphins, kind of who gets the production on the outsides. Devontae Parker, who's a very good outside receiver, and Preston Williams. But the Rams have Jalen Ramsey and Troy Hill, who are fantastic sticky cover corners on the outside. So I don't know if there'll be that much separation for the Dolphins. I think a key to beating the Rams is establishing the run early. Gaskin's been pretty impressive, but nothing crazy. And the Rams are going to make it real tough. I guess the only thing that's siding with the Dolphins offense is there's really no tape or expectations on what type of play calls there will be with Tua Tagovailoa. So that could be a negative for the Rams, but I'm really not too worried. I really like the way they match up. But the Dolphins, I think, match up with the Rams offense as well. Brian Flores is an excellent game planner. The Dolphins defense is playing extremely well. I actually think, they got playmakers in the back end. You're looking at Xavier Howard. I actually think they can pick off Goff, and that could actually be the difference. They pick him off more than once, get great field position for Tua on their offense, really. So that could be the difference. I just, similar matchup for both teams. I just like the way the Rams match up a little bit. I think the Rams, even though they have potential to turn the ball over, they'll get that tempo going and they'll score on you as well. So I think they just do enough there. Really like their defense. They're -4 at Miami. I got them winning by 3. Steelers-Ravens, not a lot of people are picking the Steelers. I was the only one of the GOAT-outs to pick the Steelers. I was shocked by that. And this is obviously a toss-up game. Could go either way. Lamar Jackson could just take over in this game. And I think the Ravens' defense could maybe make Big Ben turn the ball over a little bit. We've seen the Titans do that, and the Titans almost came back and won. So those outside corners are key in this game for the Ravens. Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters, a lot's on him being a playmaking corner. What could he do? So that would be a reason to side with the Ravens, but I'm picking with the Steelers. And it's not, I see some people saying, you can't really go against Steelers right now. I don't know if that's really it. I just love their defense that much. And I like the Ravens defense as well. I like the way they match up. The Ravens offense, Lamar has carried this offense. Of course, Mark Andrews made some big plays here and there, but Lamar has really carried this offense. And the Steelers, early last year, the Steelers actually game planned pretty well. Mike Tomlin, he game planned pretty well for Lamar. They did their part in a loss, and it went to several overtimes, if I remember correctly, and that was with Mason Rudolph. Can't really base too much off that game. But it's a better Steelers team now. And my point is, I think Mike Tomlin, shouldn't be a shocker, could have a good game plan against Lamar Jackson. They're very good at stopping the run. It's a little bit different type of run with Lamar Jackson. They're not going to be too worried about their actual running backs inside the trenches. There's really no game plan there. Just play ball. Mark Ingram's a little beat up. The difference is the Ravens offensive line. Last year, the best in football, the very best in football. Going into the playoffs this year, it's still probably on the good side because there's just so many bad offensive lines, but it is nowhere near as good as it was last year, and that could be the difference in this game. So the Steelers will stop the run. They'll get after Lamar. Lamar will break some runs. He'll get some points. He's going to have to make some tight window throws, which I trust Lamar. Unlike a lot of people, I definitely trust him in that category. But he's going to have to do, I think, a lot of it. And the Steelers offense, they could have their hands full. Martindale will bring the blitz. They're very good at blitzing. They'll bring it at Big Ben. Does he have the athleticism to get away from that? Not really, but he has the knowledge. It's all about knowledge when picking up the blitz because there's always somebody going to be open when teams blitz that heavy. But can the quarterback find him in time? It's very hard to do. The knowledgeable ones do it. So I think Big Ben can do it enough. They have a wide variety of receivers. That will help, especially when the Ravens are blitzing, because we'll say Marcus Peters has got, Marlon Humphrey maybe has got Juju Smith-Schuster locked down. Marcus Peters has got, whoever's on the outside. They switch a lot, James Washington typically plays on the outside a lot when he's in the game. He's not always in the game. But Claypool, Deontay Johnson, they'll switch inside out. So Marcus Peters has the other one locked down, but whoever's in the slot may have a day. It's going to be easy for him to get open when they blitz. It shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Will Big Ben find him? I believe so. I just like the way the Steelers match up. Really on both sides of the ball. They don't match up very well on offense, but I think they do more than the Ravens offense. So I got a defensive game here. I got the Steelers taking care of business 24-20. Usually these games you can see them splitting, home games. So that was the main tough part there about picking the Steelers away. But I like the way they match up. That's how I always played picks, matchup game. So taking the Steelers here. They're plus 3.5. Surprised by that they're underdogs. Chargers Broncos. This actually could be a good game because Herbert can get a little more of a test, a little something different. A really good defense that can make plays. They can get the pressure. The Chargers got some injured guys in the offensive line. We'll see if they play or not. Broncos can get the pressure. Guys like Bradley Chubb, Malik Reed's been playing actually very, very well, surprisingly. And then they can create the turnovers in the back end. Guys like Justin Simmons, the drill. So that could actually throw Herbert off. He's still gonna have those games. Those games where he just kind of turns the ball over, like a little sloppy. He's gonna have those, and it's okay. But even my thinking was, I was thinking that the Broncos could win, but there's two flaws to that. There's two flaws to saying that, which the Broncos definitely could still win. I have a close game. The two flaws are, even if the Chargers turn the ball over or struggle on offense here and there, they will still have the big plays and still score. That's Herbert. That's this offense. It's big playability. He can start the game off. He's not, but he can start the game off 0 for 10, Herbert, that is, with 2 interceptions. Not going to happen, but he could. But then I will be very confident he'll still have that bomb for a touchdown or that run, for a touchdown. They have that big play score ability, so they will still get that. And the other flaw is, can the Broncos keep up? Even if they stop the Chargers, can they keep up? They've been relying on mainly field goals. Drew Lock has been off his game. There's too many injuries. The offensive line hasn't been playing good. You're playing a pretty good pass rush here. So a lot of things are siding towards the Chargers, but what sides towards the Broncos is they can show Herbert a new challenge. They can make some plays on defense. Maybe the field position game they win makes it easier for their offense. They got to punch the ball in the end zone there. They got to get the ball in the end zone. Chargers are favored by 3. That's a good line because I end up having them win by 3. So that should be a pretty good game, though. Saints and Bears. I'm growing more confidence in the Saints than I already had. Allen Robinson in concussion protocol. He could play. He could be out short week. That's tough. And they really need Allen Robinson against the Saints. They really need him. The Saints defense. I think they're getting a little more pressure on quarterbacks. The Bears' offensive line is getting more and more beat up, and they're looking weaker and weaker. So they're going to get that. The Saints' weakness on defense is the deep ball. The Bears don't have the deep ball right now. I wish the Bears would have done it more earlier in the Rams game because they had like 2 shots, one to Komet and one, I think, to Robinson. I remember, and they worked out, and then they didn't really use it again until it was obvious they were out of the game. It was obvious passing downs, and of course it's not going to work then. So if they get going downfield early, I would love that game plan for the Bears, but I don't trust it. Nick Foles and Nagy, they are nowhere near the same page right now. It seems like they're butting heads a little bit. There's not like a yelling match or anything but on the sideline, but it seems like they're not agreeing on a lot of things. So that's not good. Again, the offensive line's not playing good. They can't get any run game going at all. So that's not good. I trust the Saints offense will have their handful with the Bears defense, a great defense. But I think they'll stick to small ball and just wear the Bears defense out, because that, if they had a weakness, that would be where the weakness is at. I think Kamara has a pretty big day. We'll see if the Saints have some guys coming back this week, which it's still up in the air. But I'm pretty confident in them. I think Drew Brees plays a pretty good game. I like the way they match up, honestly, on both sides of the ball. Obviously, they don't match up really good against the Bears defense, but if there was a style offense that matched up well with the Bears defense, you had to pick one. I think the Saints are towards the top. So, they're -4. I got them winning by 7. Growing more confidence in that one. It is in Chicago. Bears defense very well can win that game for them. Niners and Seahawks. It'll be close. It's a Seahawks game. It's going to be close. Seahawks are -3. So it's San Fran. It's the 49ers +3 at Seattle. Pretty close game. Got a 4-point game. The injuries that are popping up once again. Most of they missed him last week, but they're probably going to miss him. They're going to miss him again. Now they have Jeff Wilson go down after a big game. And the big one, Deebo Samuel. See how much better that team is with Deebo, because that keeps teams guessing. Where's this guy going to go? He can go anywhere on the field. That's kind of that mismatch, that game plan nightmare. He's out of the game. So that was a big difference for me. If Deebo was in, man, this would be the toughest game to pick on the year, I think. In Seattle, still, it makes it tough. But I'm going to give the edge to Seattle. I think they should get Jamal Adams back. I don't believe Carlos Dunlap will be able to play this week, but still, that's the only thing. The Niners can come out running, that can open up the pass game. That could be the difference. But I think Jamal Adams would be a very good matchup situation against the Niners if they had him in this game, which I believe they will. We'll see. Seahawks are going to get points. We know that. So I think they just do enough there. But it should be a pretty good NFC West battle. 31-27 Seattle. Cowboys, Eagles. I got the Eagles taking care of business. This is Sunday night. Unfortunately, they're favored by 7.5. Cowboys +7.5, meaning they're underdogs in Philly. 24-13. I just don't think the Cowboys can do enough offensively. The pass rush will be getting, I believe it'll be DiNucci. The pass rush will be getting after him. Zeke probably has, probably gets their only touchdown, or Pollard. But Zeke really can't get anything going, but he's going to have to in this game. It's just too tough. They probably have the worst offensive line in football right now because how beat up it is. So I don't really see them scoring that many points. I think the Eagles kind of shoot themselves in the foot on offense. You'd think the Cowboys defense, one of the worst, maybe the worst in football, so the Eagles should be able to get going. And they very well could. 24 is a little bit getting going for them. Just be careful with the ball. You're going to win this game if you just take care of the ball and play your game here. That's just what you're going to do. So in Philly as well. So confident with them. Got them winning by 11 there. And then Monday night, another one featuring an NFC East team it's not really a good game. 31-16 Buccaneers. Buccaneers are playing like one of the best teams in football right now. Very complete, very balanced, top-tier offense, top-tier defense. They'll blitz Daniel Jones. They'll force some turnovers. Daniel Jones and the boys do have some big playability, so they'll get some points, on a shot, or two if they can catch the ball. Evan Engram, mainly talking to him. But so 16, it actually feels like top line 17 points, probably the top of the line for the Giants in this game. But I got them scoring around 16 there. Bucks -10.5. They should get. Giants defense actually hasn't been like good or really like, I don't know if you can say good, but it's been impressive. It's been way better than expected. But Tom Brady's heating up. Godwin's going to be out, so that could be a factor. But they got Fournette back. Ronald Jones and Fournette run the ball pretty well. Mike Evans should have a pretty good game, unlike last week. They're getting Gronk going. They'll get enough going in this game. Confident with the Bucs, like I think many of us out there. So 31-16 Buccaneers, and that's all of them. That is all of the score predictions for this week. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed. We're back every single week with this video and plenty of other videos. So, please subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss a thing. Help us reach that 60K goal. That'd be much appreciated. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.